Hey everybody, welcome to Obscurities in Miniature. Today I have got Hadak, or Hadak, one of the Foundry demons from Comet Lord miniatures. And I gotta say, I like when we have, number one, giant demons, but number two, with all kinds of cool sci-fi machinery bits all over them. So I'm in seventh heaven with this. As usual with Comet Lord, we have a big honkin' model, and thankfully it is already hollowed out. I did go with the pre-supported version just to make my life simpler. So he's got this big, huge, I mean very huge, power maul hammer thing with his insignia, I guess, on it. I had a little print failure there on the tip of the hammer, but it seems to have sealed itself up. Buzzsaw on the back. We have the actual torso right here. His face has got a mixture of electronics, machinery, and then like a skull-like visage right there. I know it's a little bit shiny. Backside seemed to have been a little bit better. Big huge turbine power generator thingies. He's got wires, mechanical Mecha Godzilla things. So the legs actually gave me a bit of trouble. I tried printing these things 3 times. Third time, I still had a failure. The first 2 were awful, but for whatever reason, his foot right here just decided it was going to separate, and then this one claw didn't want to actually print completely. To me, this isn't a big issue, I think, because the rest of it, everything looks good. You can see the beginnings of where his tail is going to go in. Big old Mecha Godzilla tail. There's not, well, I guess there is still some organic bits underneath it. Never mind. Disappointed in that regard, but it's a long tail. So I think once he's put on a base, it's not going to be a huge issue with that failure down there. Like I said, he's going to be a big model. Grabbing one of my old blood hunters from Comet Lord. You can see there, he's definitely going to put up a fight. I'll have to get that blood hunter beast out too. We also have, he's got a fully mechanical arm. Thankfully that did print out okay. I like the see-through part there and the hydraulics and all the pistons moving around in there. The gears. It's also a very long arm and hollowed out, thankfully. So, big pieces, big parts. Kind of reminded me a little bit of his Barrow Breaker, only because it's got the big giant hammer. But again, this one has a nice little buzzsaw on the back. It's a lot more high-tech than the Barrow Breaker as well. We'll grab him when we have a chance. We'll put Hadak all together here, and we'll see how he turns out. And maybe by the time I show the second half, I'll have actually printed a base. Otherwise, I'm going to have to find something for him. Sit tight. All right, we got our Master of the Forge all put together. I did actually try printing out one of these bases. Every now and then I do that. Didn't do the best job, and I don't know why it has these weird gradation lines on it, but it came out flat. I'm not going to complain too much. And then we have our big boy right here. And he definitely is big. Grabbing a couple of other large models I've got handy. An Avatara from Conquest. A demon from Creature Caster. And our good old Witch Hunter friend here. You can see that, yeah, they are big company. Definitely big guys. Really dig the quasi-high-tech look here. I mean, you can actually kind of go both, you know, have it be all fantasy, or possibly put him into 40K as well. I mean, I think it can go both ways. The high-tech stuff works. I like the little cut-in on the hand there. The gears and stuff. Looks neat. Big fancy hammer. Spots that I did not actually seem to have primed as well as I should have. That's okay. Good detail on the face there. And yeah, he's supposed to have that kind of hole, I believe. You can see here he's got the tube running through the opposite end. Lots of wire work on him. So yeah, totally could see this guy being used in both fantasy and sci-fi settings. And like I said, he is definitely big. While I was at it, went ahead and printed some friends for him. I was afraid he's going to fall over, but he does a pretty good job of keeping his balance with that tail of his. We have here another Comet Lord model. This is a blood-packed demon. Very fancy base. I did glue him on. I'm not sure why either. A little bit smaller. I think he's like on a 80mm base, whereas I'm pretty sure that is a 50. It looks like a 50 because it looks too big to be 40. Yeah. Not the tallest for a 50mm base, but I figure, you know what, he's probably not going to fit on anything smaller than that either, so maybe that's a better choice. And you know what, if we're going to be hunting and fighting with demons, we need a demon hunter. And this is Maxwell, the Noble Gunslinger, also from Comet Lord. I like this figure, except I feel like I've always felt this way. This hand is just a little too long. Otherwise, everything works. Very Devil May Cry style character. Obviously, it's not Dante, but it would make a pretty good stand-in. Maybe even Virgil. And even cooler, I thought, was the fact that in addition to Maxwell, there is an Angelo Maxwell, the one-winged demon slayer. One-winged angel. I feel like we're entering Final Fantasy territory with those kinds of comments. Definitely its own thing. Not sure if these are supposed to be webbing or feathers or its own funky thing. This guy has been throwing me for a loop. Part of the reason I filmed this a while ago, and built them a while ago and been waiting to film this, I can't figure out what to do with this guy especially. Definitely a little bit bigger than a regular human. Maxwell himself, a little bit taller, but then again, that is an older GW figure, so, you know, maybe we should grab a Primaris. These might be better choices, especially if they're going to be tangling with a 40k equivalent. Because if you go that route, then he looks like he's going to fit in pretty nicely. You could have him be some kind of Ordo Malleus. Why, isn't that the one that deals with the eradication of Xenos and stuff like that, if you wanted to use him as an inquisitorial type? I'm going to totally knock stuff over. And while I'm at it, just because I can, if we're going to have Devil May Cry inspired figures, might as well have the actual Devil May Cry figures. Now, I didn't back the Kickstarter, but I did manage to get a hold of the Devil Trigger forms. I'm not 100% sure if their feet are molded to that base. It doesn't look like it. I might be able to pry them off. I don't like this triple hex thing they got going on. And you can't have one brother without the other. I believe this is Virgil's, based on the smaller sword. Thinner sword, I should say. His feet, I can't tell either if he's attached, if there's glue, or if I could just get away and... I don't know what size base I'd put them on. I don't know if they're going to fit. I guess a 50 would work. Looks like it's wide enough to fit them both. So you can see our friend Angelo Maxwell here fits in pretty nicely. So if you manage to get a hold of any of the Kickstarter stuff from Devil May Cry, you can have yourself a whole bunch of demon busting cool dudes whipping out swords and guns. Because why not, right? Hopefully we'll be seeing some new interesting stuff from Comet Lord. I know he took the month of June off, which everybody needs a break every now and then. I can totally understand that. And hopefully we'll be seeing some more interesting stuff from them in the near future. At least in the meantime, I'm going to put a link to his My Mini Factory page where you guys can take a look through his big old back catalog and see if there's anything there that tickles your fancy. With that said, this has been High Lord Tamberlane with Obscurities and Miniatures. Saying thanks for watching, and we will see you back here soon. Bye-bye.